Hey everyone, this is Joshua799 here. Um, there we go. Sorry, try to reposition the camera. But oh, I'm using my phone by the way for these videos. So again, oh, and I have the different filter now because I want to give it to like obviously old-fashioned. And if anyone don't like this, I'll change it back to normal. But I just wanted to give this a try because since I am telling old stories, like I wanted to put like an old kind of way of, like, oh, it's old story. Anyway, this is another story from my elementary. I said that I will do, and another example of me being so terrible a person. Alright, so this story is about another girl. No, this time, well, I don't know. I mean, I liked her, but I didn't at the same time. I mean, it was like she was a friend, but not really. I mean, she was cool. Let's just say she was cool. Anyway, so we would always be, she liked me. She was one of the two. And I always tell her the story saying, like, these girls like me and stuff. But, yeah, she liked me, and, I didn't, I didn't have anything feelings towards her back, anything like that. Nothing really, but just, as a friend, I used to talk to her a lot. But anyway, when we would always be at the library, she would always be as like a watch person. Like the teacher would have her as like a watch for anyone talking during the library. It was a little area. It was like a little tiny area, like probably this pretty much, like probably that size. I mean, obviously not this small, but it was like that. It was literally like a rectangle, like a building. So it wasn't that big. It wasn't big at all. It was just like a little building. But the teacher would always pick her for a watch of, seeing if kids are talking, like, even soft talking, you can't do that. Like, no talking whatsoever. So anyway, since she liked me, she would always not try to get, if I were to talk or anything like that, she would not do anything. She wouldn't do anything to me, excuse me. She wouldn't do anything to me. She wouldn't tell on me, like, about the teacher if I was talking to my friends, or she would only give me, like, obviously, like, warnings, like, oh, like, just talk softly, like, really softly, but you can talk. But no one else was able to. It was always just, the other kids, like, that would get picked on and they would, get in trouble. But me, I was okay. I was like, I could talk to my friends, and she wouldn't really say anything to the teacher. I mean, she didn't say anything to the teacher, in fact. So I was always telling her. I would always. It's a messed up thing too. I would always go up to her, or if she was walking around my table, I would tell her, like, quietly, like, you didn't do anything, right? Like, I told her that, like, you didn't put nothing on me, right? And she's like, oh, no, I didn't. I was like, okay, good. So, I will admit that I was using her as like pretty much like to my advantage, pretty messed up, I know, but again, these stories, I did give a warning in my first video, saying these are pretty messed up stories of me. Obviously I'm not like that anymore. I'm not, no, trust me, I'm not like that anymore. I'm way different now, and I'm not messed up. I mean, to a point where I would never do something like that ever again, like in my life. So, I can promise you that because of one reason, but obviously I'll get to that later. But, yeah, so I would always tell her stuff like, yeah, if you didn't do any, don't get me in trouble, don't call on me, don't tell the teacher I'm talking. Just literally using her as pretty much as my advantage just so I can't get in trouble. So anyway, the only reason I found out, the only reason why I found out that she liked me was because her sister told me. And then her sister too liked me. But, I'm sorry, I don't know. That her sister, sorry. But I'm not gonna go into more detail with that. But I didn't like her sister really, no, at all. But she, the girl that liked me, the one I'm talking about was, the one in the library or whatever. She was okay to me. I liked her, not like that, but like as a friend, she was okay. Afterwards, she was alright. I used to talk to her all the time, but obviously not anymore. But I used to always be, I don't know, it was weird. I mean, almost every girl would always just like me. I mean, I'm not even kidding by that, by the way. I'm like not trying to say that to brag or anything. I'm dead serious. Pretty much every girl that I met, almost they're either friends, like good friends of mine, or they like me. Like, no. I say in middle school. It stopped in middle school, and it was different in high school. But I'll get to that later, like I said. But yeah. So it was crazy. I pretty much, again, oh, and yeah, her sister told me, like, oh, and then her too. She got all embarrassed, of course. How, obviously, and this was third, fourth grade, I believe. Third grade, I think. And of course, in elementary, and like how embarrassing it was to be all like, oh, a girl has a crush on you. You never knew, Like, but I knew again, I already knew pretty much any girl that liked me. I knew from the start. But with her, I didn't really see her as her liking me like that, like a crush on me or anything. It was pretty much more like a friend. I was like, I thought she was cool. She was cool. She was a cool person. But she didn't really. She was Spanish. She only spoke Spanish. So that was also a thing, like where it was kind of hard for her to kind of express herself to me. Telling me, all like this and stuff, like oh, I'm okay. Like she would have a little. I mean, she spoke English, but it was really broken. But and that wasn't the problem, by the way. If anyone's thinking that I didn't want to be with her because she was Spanish, no, trust me, no. It's only, I mean, again, like how I was, I never really had interest. There was only one girl in elementary that I actually did, well, a couple, but we'll get to those later. But yeah, so I found out, and she got embarrassed, and I talked to her about it after. I was like, hey, it's okay, like, I mean, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be embarrassed. I even told her, you don't have to be embarrassed or anything. It's like, I still see you as a friend. It's okay. Nothing's changed. We're still cool, like, then that's when I started being all, like, doing that with her and stuff, like, like, being all, like, telling her, oh, am I getting in trouble or not, and stuff like that. But, no, she was cool, though, for real, and, pretty much, during that whole time, she never really talked to me. It was just only like little small talks we do. Again, like obviously not anymore. The last time I saw her, I just finished up pretty much what her business really was. So again, I'm not naming names for just their their personal lives and privacy. So I'm not just giving out names, whatever. But the last time I ever talked to her, or even like said anything to her, was in middle school, and I think she remembered me. She looked way different now, and she spoke actual like English, like good, like understanding good. I was surprised, honestly. I was like, whoa, like geez. So she talked to me, and she asked me just a question. And that was the thing too. I mean, she looked way different too. Like I was like, dang, like you look way different now since elementary. But yeah. So that was the last time I ever saw her was in middle school, and I never saw her again after that. Not in high school or anything. I mean, I don't even know if she went to the same high school as I did. But yeah. So that pretty much concludes her story, well as mine, because she overall, if again, if I'm highly doubt this, I highly doubt everything. If they would even watch these kind of stuff, obviously, especially from like a low, like obviously, like why would they be looking this up? But if you're watching this, you know the person I'm talking about. Sorry that I was like that. I actually did like you as a friend, and that's pretty much always what it's always been. So, you know, no hard feelings, nothing, you know. And you were cool. You were cool. I really, you know, enjoyed being your friend as long as it happened, and just hope everything's okay with you. I'm pretty sure because you were pretty cool. So, all right, guys, that will conclude my video, my second story. There's a lot more coming. I'll guarantee it because there's a lot of stuff that's happened. And those are barely scratching the surfaces, and those were pretty deep. So, anyway, guys, I'll end the video here again. I try to not make these so long, but I ramble all the time. And that's the thing too, I love rambling. So sorry if I do. And but anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Later, guys.